The culture menu.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Chef Che, your LA-based, loyalty-raised music appreciator that loves to give the people what they want. You are now tapped into the third episode of the Culture Menu podcast. So let's jump right into this week's topics. I wanted to kick this week off by discussing how great a job, let's give them a round of applause, how great a job Netflix has done at keeping us occupied, holding us down and supplying us with new content on a regular basis, which I know it's hard to do. All these different companies having to shut down production and things of that nature. But between Girlfriends, The Parkers, and some of these Netflix originals, I think I am happy. I barely have time to think about the realities of my hectic life and what's going on in the outside world. And with that, I just want to thank you, Netflix, for holding it down. POP, baby. It sucks that COVID is holding us back from having any new shows released. I mean, you're really starting to see it. You're really starting to see how these streaming platforms are being affected and trying to use like the old school nostalgia energy and these sitcoms that they know were hits, and that they know we've been waiting on watching and tapping into, which is cool. It just sucks that it takes this kind of experience in world fucking situation for the streaming services to really hear us out though. In about 6 months, all these platforms will probably release nothing but animation and cartoons. I don't see how. I mean, no production. Production was held up for 8 months on average. That's no movies, no TV shows, no stand-up comedy routines happening or being worked on. All that will influence what we see and experience in about a year from now. Which, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see something different. I'm scared because I might not have anything to watch in a second. But I guess that'll just have me working more on the culture menu. So, hey, whatever, guys. Speaking of stand-up comedy, did anyone I'm talking to you guys like you're right here and you're not, you're so far away. But you can answer this down below in the comments. That's what you can do. You can answer any questions that I may give you during the podcast. Just answer them down below because I'm going to check it. I'll respond to you if a response is necessary. But speaking of comedy, who tapped in to the presidential debate? I don't even want to call it a presidential debate. It was more like a shit show. And for me, someone that's not that political, and I only say that political because I just feel like I don't know enough. I don't know enough about politics. I know the bare fucking minimum. But for somebody that doesn't know anything about politics and to watch that and be like, that's a shit show, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've never wanted to vote so bad in my fucking life ever before. I've never wanted to just tell people to vote so bad in my fucking life. I never even thought I should care about voting. And that's a whole nother topic. But I just could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. The topics, the questions, the answers, the facial expressions, the lack of respect for one another, the lack of respect for the rules, guidelines. Not that I guess we expected. Biden, yes, I expect him to follow the guidelines in some sort. But Trump, he's just... That was crazy. And I watched it with my great-grandmother. So that goes from remembering and seeing her crying at the inauguration for Barack Obama to her being just as sad. Well, her being sad for how far we've come from that. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting. And I feel bad for Biden because he gets caught in the shit show. Not that he's not part of it, but he gets caught in it. And I think his natural reactions and like the just aren't the same. And I get it. You talk about my son, I'll probably punch you in the throat. I don't know how he didn't punch him in the throat. I don't know how Trump got away with that. But hey, he did. And you could tell Biden, it was all up in him. He was just like, oh, as a warrior for this country, I know inside of his skin sickles, he was just like, oh, are you serious? You know, I promise you, he wanted to cuss so many times. He was like, can we just have him just shut it? Boy, I tell you, I could just imagine if we had Barack Obama this year going against Trump. Oh my God. How many nigga moments he would have? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I would have nigga moments for him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And it slightly made me go, it really doesn't matter who wins when I was watching it. But it does matter. It really, really does matter because Trump is way more detrimental than Joe Biden. Joe Biden at least has rules and guidelines and integrity of some sort. Not saying he's perfect, not saying he's the best man for the job, but I'll take him over Trump. Okay? And then I don't know if some of you guys caught it, but when they were talking, like at the end, when they were pretty much saying thank you and wrapping up the show, there was like this chicken shit grin that Trump had. Like he knew what he just did. Like he knew it was all bad. He was like, I did what I came to accomplish, and that is to fuck shit up. That is to make Biden look like he's on my level, which is not a high level. But I thought that was just hilarious, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be funny. We shouldn't be calling the presidential debate funny, hilarious, or even making a joke of it. We should. But it was crazy. And like just to think, it's crazy that there are people out in this United States of America, I'm not going to say in the whole wide world, just the United States, that find leadership qualities and some sort of like bright hope of possibilities for this country with him running it. Some people think that. Some people are like, without him, we cannot be great. Without Trump, we cannot move forward. Like, people really think that. Like, Trump is making us better. That's fucking crazy. And if you're one of those people, please log out and unsubscribe to me. You know what I'm saying? Please. I mean, yes, I should be wanting you to subscribe so you can probably gain some knowledge and learn some shit. But you're too far. You're too far gone. So just get the fuck out of here. You know, just bye-bye. And they don't even deem any of his negative news as somewhat questionable. Like, oh, you know what? He said grab bitches by the pussy. And I have a daughter. Maybe that's not great. Maybe I shouldn't all the way. And they just don't fucking care. Oh, he was over there having sex with young girls. Well, how'd they get over there? Did he pay him? Oh, we'll see. At least he paid him. You know, it's just crazy to me that people are finding some sort of normalcy in this man. But y'all do what y'all do, and y'all fight for what y'all believe in. Y'all believe what y'all believe. Anyways, and y'all worried about Barack's fucking birth certificate. Just baffled. And it's like this country seems to be moving in a direction of like, okay, publicly, because we know there's two different things. Publicly, this country is moving in the direction of like equality and social justice and Black Lives Matter. But yet, behind the scenes, they stand behind the president, aligning himself with like white supremacists and like police groups that perpetuate systemic racism. Last week, we touched on the topic of Breonna Taylor and and how Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron, I believe that's his name, Daniel Cameron, he came out and was basically saying no one's going to be charged and all these things, and the police are going to be charged just for the bullets that went through the walls. So I'm so glad the wall got justice and Breonna Taylor didn't. That was a joke. Ugh. So I guess this week it's not looking too good for Daniel Cameron. Okay. Not that we didn't know it, but now it's kind of being proven that Daniel Cameron lied multiple times when he explained why the grand jury decided not to charge any police officer with the crime for killing Breonna Taylor. And what we're finding out is the grand jury actually wasn't even brought forth the information. So basically, Daniel Cameron presented evidence to the grand jury, but the only criminal charges he announced last week were against Brett Hankinson. And I guess that is the lead officer who fired blindly into Taylor's apartment. One of the grand jurors came out and took extraordinary steps basically to file a court motion to make the transcripts public so we could see what exactly Daniel Cameron presented to the jury so that they're not held accountable and actually he is. And it also shows the misrepresentation of the jury from Daniel Cameron and basically placing the blame on them as to why there were no charges brought up. And the grand jury saying, no, it's not us. He actually didn't bring those charges up to us. And I think that's a really big break. I mean, I feel like there's a big break every week, but they're just not trying to give justice. And I don't know if they should just come out and say, look, guys, Breonna Taylor is not going to get justice. Or if they should just keep prolonging this situation and every week something be brought out or released or all that other stuff. I mean, right now, I would just rather you just tell us we're not going to get, so we can just move forward and do what we need to do as a community, as a culture, as a people to make sure this doesn't happen again and to maybe possibly even get her justice that they think we aren't going to get. You couldn't have told me 10 years ago that we would be here. You couldn't have told me 10 years ago that we would be fighting one another. You couldn't have told me 10 years ago that we wouldn't get better. We would probably get worse. And you hear the rainbow is after the storm. But shit, I thought the storm was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I thought the storm was happening when Rodney King was beat up. Assaulted. And his life was really actually taken from him. Really actually taken from him. He was never the same after that. And that's based on police brutality, systemic racism, all the shit we've been talking about. Bunch of niggas. The government is just a bunch of niggas. It's true. It's so true. And when you understand the word niggas, you understand that is exactly what the government is. A bunch of niggas. Cold-hearted niggas. Oof. You can't. Anyways. How many of y'all been getting that, working on your fitness, you my witness? How many of y'all been doing that? Because I haven't. I feel like every week I'm gaining 5 pounds. Please don't calculate how many pounds that is. I feel like my cheeks are just getting fat. My hips are getting wider. I feel like my food bill's getting more expensive. Walks are harder. All those things. Tell us to exercise. Don't go outside, though, without a mask. How am I supposed to exercise with a mask on? I tried it. It was hot. It was hotter than hot. Just over COVID. Just over it. Have we even learned anything? Have we learned anything in COVID? I've learned we don't have as much freedom as we thought we did. I learned Black lives don't matter to a lot of people around here. I've learned systemic racism is really at the center of all this. Money is the root of all evil. And I think those things align and coincide with each other. I've learned, what else have I learned in COVID? I've learned a lot of my family's annoying. I've learned I need space. I like space. And I like being with my family sometimes and not having space. But I need space. I don't want to see y'all niggas all the time. I don't want to talk to y'all niggas all the time. And I know we going through shit, so we got to make sure each other's good. But I mean, I want to do the bare minimum to make sure y'all good. I wish I could just send a text and just a thumbs up and every nigga knew what I was talking about. Like, y'all good? Just double tap that and hit that like thing and we good. That's it. That's all the communication I need. But unfortunately, relationships are a two-way street. Because if it was based on what I need, nigga. Okay? Anyways. What have you guys learned in COVID? You know? Tell me what you guys have learned in COVID. Maybe some things y'all have learned in COVID you could pass to me. Because I'm running out. What is y'all doing during COVID? Give me some things I can do. I've painted. I've made music. I've tried to exercise. I swam. I've taken drives down the coast. I'm running out of things, man. So y'all tap in with me and please give me some pointers or exercises I can do, or are there any Zooms, panels? Are there any of that stuff going on? Tap in with me because I am losing it out here. I probably got 2 weeks left in me of this COVID shit before I lose it. Before I lose it. I've been reading a lot. I think I did The Alchemist. I've read From Niggas to Gods. I tapped into Charlemagne the God's book. I think it was called like Shook Ones. That was a serious book. I was dealing with anxiety at the time. And I was like, man, I want a book that's for me. I don't want none of these white people books telling me about white people anxiety with white people problems. I can't. I get to page 5 and I'm over it. But really, you guys should tap into that Shook One's book of Charlemagne the God. He really dissects anxiety and our perspective from a brilliant way. He really helps you understand what's going on in you. Again, he's not like a therapist or a doctor, but I think the way that he helps us understand us is brilliant. And I think one of the biggest takeaways you can give someone is letting them know that they're not alone in this world, in this life, in this experience, and like no one's different. The details are a little different, but the overall experience is the same. So, thanks, Charlemagne. It's a really good book. I also I also read the book The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Loved the book, hated the ending, really upset me. I guess I can't really. But you guys should tap in all these books, man. These are really good books. Get off that Netflix sometimes. Get off that Girlfriends, the Parkers. Get off of that. And really use your brain sickles, man. I have to use mine. And I realize when I read more, the more words I use. Like they're not just so basic. It's not like dog, cat, you know? It's like German Shepherd. I don't know the name of a cat, but it'd be more detailed. So maybe you guys should do that. Get off this TV. Get off this depressing ass news. These depressing ass people. And you guys should all understand that life ain't easy. Life could be fun. Life could be sad. Life could be exhilarating. Life could be in depth. Life can be a lot of these things. But what life can be and won't ever be is easy. So find folks you align with. Find folks that make it easier. Find and surround yourself with people that get life like you. That people that want to live life like you. And not in the simplistic sense, but in the overall sense. In the sense of having a purpose, Or like the alchemist says, finding your personal legend. That's a big thing. Which is finding purpose. Finding what makes you happy, what makes you complete on this earth. If I had to tap into my personal legend, and I'm not there yet, but I'm proud of myself for moving in that direction. But I want to be a stand-up comic. And even though with COVID, you can't go on the stage right now, but I just believe that's all part of the process. And I feel like being restricted to not being able to somewhat go after my goals, it makes me want to try harder when I am able to. When I'm able to go on the stage and really shut the shit down, and I'm really able to go on the stage and get booed, and I'm able to, I just can't wait for that part. When it was available and I took advantage of, next week I'll do it, or da-da-da-da, I'll write this next week, and da-da-da-da, I'll do it in a month. Now I just want to appreciate the hell out of it. Now I just want to try, and now I just want to fail, and now I just want to live, I just want to experience. It's you realize you don't want to fail in front of people. You're like, they're going to laugh at me. They're going to make me cry. They ain't going to think I'm funny. But let's change that. Let's change to not caring about them. And caring about us. Can I make myself laugh? Am I going to make myself cry? Am I going to understand what I'm saying? Do I appreciate what I get at the end of it? Because y'all niggas ain't shit. Half of y'all just go through, listen to podcasts, judging the folks on it, but wouldn't dare make one. Wouldn't dare share or even have the ability to articulate your thoughts, your inner workings, your inner beliefs. And half of that is because y'all care too much about others. Y'all care too much about the comments. I want the comments. Because I want to be a stand-up comic. And with that comes failure. With that comes laughs. With that comes center of attention. All the things I don't like, but I want to be a stand-up comic so bad that I'm willing to go through all those things. Experience all of those things. And you should too. Whatever it is you want to do. You want to be a painter, be the best painter you can. Fail so much that you can't fail anymore. These are all the things I wish someone would have told me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last week. Life ain't easy. Somebody got to do it. And since it's your life, why not it be you? Last thing I want to share with you guys. Last thing we should tap into before we wrap up this week. I'm always trying to help. And help others gain knowledge. Help give y'all wrinkles in your brain. If you don't know what that is, Google it. You just got one. I need you guys to understand how important and how valuable meditation is. How important it is for you to tap in with you. You know when you call your grandma because you're like, oh, I haven't talked to her in a couple days. I just need to make sure she's okay. Make sure she has everything she needs. Let me just call her real quick. And it's like a quick 3 to 5 minute phone call. That's what you need to do with yourself every day. Just tap in. See where you at. See how you thinking. See what you need. Or don't. Or meditate on nothing. But I'm sure in the back of that nothingness, you'll be talking to yourself and really figuring things out. So meditate. Meditate on decisions. Meditate on thoughts. Meditate on beliefs. Meditate on the future. Meditate on your wants and your needs. Meditate on your partner, on your family. Meditate. Really hone in on you and the things around you in an enlightenment level. Enlighten. Meditate. You can lay down when you wake up, when you first wake up. If you just lay down still, you can either stare at the ceiling, close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, exhale. Deep breaths, exhale. Focus on the breathing. In the midst of that, just meditate. Just be still. No worries. No cares. You'll figure it all out. Just meditate. Meditate on it. Love on it. Dope. So, I think we had some great topics today. I would love to hear more from you guys. Please, again, comment, share, DM, do whatever you have to do to get in touch with us and give us some ideas, questions, whatever it is, because, again, the Culture Menu Podcast is for us. So with that, I'm Chef Che, and you just tuned into the Culture Menu Podcast. Tap in.